So now I want us to hear from our partners who've been part of this journey. And there are 6. So first, can I have all partners raise their hands so the team can find you and unmute you at appropriate your time? We've got 7 teams, different strokes for different folks, aiming for the stars, one to many, standing in high cotton, one world, flavors of the South, many to one. So I'm handing over to our partners now so that you can hear from them what this journey can look like. So where we are today is due to the corporations, foundations, and NGO partners who work with us to make it happen. Our role has been that of a connector of these dots, stitching together these narratives and aspirations into the journey. So first, to kick off this journey, I invite Niyati Sareen from Hinduja Group, who's been a long-standing champion of collective action, to kick off this first narrative. Different strokes, different folks. Over to you, Niyati.
Thanks, Joe. Am I unmuted? Yes. Thank you so much. So Hinduja Group has been involved in collect and action narrative since early 2018. That's when we started our water program, because we're a group of 14 plus companies, and it was mandated all the group companies to make water as their stewardship. So collective action started in the group as it is. And given my own experience in the sector since 2008, working with Jason, I truly believe that collective action is the best way to deliver water sustainability outcomes that we're all trying to achieve. An example of one of the decisions we made was that the foundation get engaged through one of our group companies in the southern cluster, so that we close up to reaching 100%, and also to have an appetite to see how this works on the ground. We did that by adding RWFB at scale in the cluster. Additionally, all of our group companies at different stages are supporting this project in different ways, to engage and to build momentum for the program. And I'd like to invite Hemangi from IndusInd Bank to share her experience. Hopefully, they will become a basin leader eventually and take over one basin. So Hemangi, over to you.
So thank you, Niyati and Joe, for inviting us and to set the context. So we are using OMI framework, as Joe explained the entire theory of the OMI, and wherein we have digitalized our programs across the country on and mapped it, and at present we are getting a comprehensive picture which is emerging and allowing us to visually comprehend and communicate our own plans. And also it is the OMI is helping us to be thoughtful about how to move ahead, like, basically what can we do, especially pre intervention, the planning and all, what we can do it. So that is also helping us, would be helping us a lot in that, uh, including the collective action. As Niyati also said, collaboration and collective action give a multiple effect and scaling up also of the activities, especially for when we talk about the climate change and the water, including the water initiative. And then we are prioritizing those initiatives in our geographies, which is again earmarked for us. And I this is all from my side at present, and I invite Harish from W2TR, which is our anchor partner, and at present their intervention is mapped on OMI. So over to you, Harish.
Thank you, Hemangi. We are working in one district called Usmanabad, which is an aspirational district. And mapping of the Usmanabad work has given us a comprehensive view of IndusInd's engagement across all the communities in the district. And this program is designed to be comprehensive across all supply side and demand side interventions. Additionally, we have also worked on the community governance, community level governance improvement. So this OMI has helped to bring all of this into one integrated visual view. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Hemangi and Harish. I wanted to talk a bit about the Spring Shed program that we are helping to codify through one of our group companies. Can I add another company, Ashok Leyland, that will eventually implement it? Can I request Shilpa from HGS to kick this off, please? Shilpa, over to you.
Thanks, Niyati. See, we at AGS are using the IT tech that Joe was speaking about to codify the Spring Shed program that is being driven by Ashok Leyland, because we've identified this as a key intervention for the Himalayan range. And the codification has really helped us to create a narrative that will allow donors to adapt and scale up the programs. I'd like to request Mr. Bala, our colleague, to speak about the value that Ashok Leyland has seen from the program. Bala, over to you.
Thank you, Shilpa, and thank you, Niyati, and a very, very good morning and greetings the relevant time in different geographies. It's been great and lovely to be here. Ashok Leyland, for many, many years, has been engaged in multiple projects, but they were all very, very short term, and they were more unit specific and focused on in and around the plant where we are. But 3 to 4 years ago is when we started to work in conjunction with the Hinduja Foundation, and we started to structure our programs and focus on long-term benefits as well as impact, and that's how this whole spring shed management started in Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand is one of our biggest plants we have in Pantnagar, and we thought it very fit to work in that particular region. Now, while yes, the benefits of codification, the benefit of structure can always be highlighted, what we found helpful and what we found more engaging is the community participation and the involvement of the community, especially the women of the community. I think that's something that we have also taken as a focus area in this particular year. And I think the spring shed management highlights how life has made a change, a difference with the introduction of spring shed. And also one thing which Niyati and me have been discussing quite a bit is how the ownership has transferred from the organization and from the implementation partner to the community and society. And that is something that we take a lot of pride in, because sustainability can be achieved only by ownership of the communities. So there is a lot that we have learned. There's a lot that we have codified, that we have structured, we have manualized, and we are happy to share and we are happy to partner going forward. Over to you, Niyati.
Can I invite Chirag, who's our implementation partner for the Spring Shed, to speak? Abhishek. I also wanted to say that the CGWB, which is the Central Groundwater Board, is also very interested to be a partner for the Spring Shed program and to get other group companies around Pantnagar to be participatory. And so we will be doing a workshop. Ashok Leyland will be the solution leader for the Spring Shed program and garner all support from the 300 odd companies in Pantnagar. So Abhishek, can you talk a bit about this codification and spring shed, please?
Sure, thank you. So the spring shed model is basically very intricate process, and it involves a lot of technical investigation to arrive at the methodology that needs to be adopted for rejuvenation of the spring shed. It of course comes with a lot of benefits as well as a number of outcomes that are very tangible. A few of the important ones being availability of assured water supply for the communities during the lean season, and besides there's a lot of livelihood generation that gets associated with the project, as well as because women are the major stakeholder group, they get empowered through the initiatives that we are taking under spring shed management. And the codification that IIT is doing is helping us visualize the entire process, which is quite complex, and it helps us effectively communicate the process that is involved in rejuvenating a water body, especially in the Himalayan landscape, which is by itself very complex. And it also helps us create that visualization about how the collaborations can pave way for more effective solutions on the ground. And given that in the Himalayan context, the rejuvenation of water sources being so critical, we are very keen on taking this initiative forward in collaboration with Hinduja Foundation, IIT, and the other partners. So we are really excited about this.
Thank you so much, Shilpa, Mr. Bala, and Abhishek. The Spring Shed program has actually been recognized by Niti Aayog as one of the most important water replenishment, livelihood, and empowerment program for the Himalayan states. But having said that, the same can be adopted in the plains, and IndusInd Bank has done that in Odisha, and it's been extremely successful. So, beside these examples, there are several other ways that our group companies are exploring how to take advantage of collective action momentum and expand the impact of our program goals. I encourage all of you to recognize the value of collecting action and bring to our own priorities and take advantage of it by being involved. You know, we're a group of 14 companies. We already have 6, 7 of us already engaged, and many others that are maturing in their water program or starting their water program, you know, taking advantage of this so that journey becomes easy for them. So, Joe, over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Niyati, for sharing this narrative with us. Our next narrative is Aiming for the Stars, for which I invite Vikas Bhatia, heading ESG and CSR for Varun Beverages, and RJ Foundation to share with us.
Hey, thank you, Mayuri. Good morning, Jason, Joe, Catherine, and everyone on the call. Glad to be here. So I think Varun Beverages, as you know, is a franchisee for Pepsi in India and 12 other countries. So as a beverage company, water is very central to what we do. And preserving the water security of the environments is of critical importance to us. And we have been very actively working towards being water positive, net water positive, by two critical actions. One, reducing consumption of water itself, that is the WUR. And we started our journey way back in 2020 when we were around 2 liters to every liter. And now we are very happy and proud that we are around 1.5 or even below 1.5 on a pan-India basis, and saved around 1.7 billion liters of water as a result of multiple actions with 150 process improvements across our 35 odd plants. So that's on the consumption side. But at the same time, we took an oath that from replenishment standpoint, we will go for a water recharge potential of twice as much as we consume. So if we are consuming around, let's say 7.5 billion liters, our commitment is that we will give back twice as much as 7.5 to 15 billion liters. So that's how we are maintaining the net positive ratio on a pan-India basis. So I'm very glad to say that so far we have developed a water recharge potential. Just closing 24 December is our annual year. 16 billion liters of water recharge through 192 water bodies. And out of these 192 water bodies, 68 alone were added in 2024. And these are spread across 34 locations in India. So our efforts have been also enhanced, I must say, and thanks to Joe and his team, by tech-enabled solutions rolled out by IIT and IIT. And with their tech solutions, we've been able to have a comprehensive view to manage our existing water bodies and drive new engagement across pan-India. With IIT contributing almost 500 million liters in the 16 billion liters I talked about, and that is around 24 water bodies of the 192 which we have closed 2024 with. Now we have expanded these 24 water bodies spread across 4 locations to another 8 locations with additional water recharge potential of 2 billion liters of water in 2025. And we strongly believe that this collective action effort or action model will allow us to multiply our effort towards water conservation. Therefore, this year we plan to focus on becoming a basin leader for the Yamuna Basin, which Joe talked about, which is a critical basin in the north. And we believe that these concerted efforts and adopting relevant solutions will bring impactful, visible outcomes. Hopefully by 2030, that's the trajectory we are following. And one of the solutions which is very relevant to the Yamuna Basin is the adoption of sugarcane ergonomic processes and practices. and we are piloting how to add the sugarcane solution in our Parner location in Maharashtra to begin with. And depending upon its success, we'll expand the horizon to the other locations. So overall, we look forward to a very strong, meaningful partnership to bring a paradigm shift, hopefully, in the management of the Yamuna River Basin, because that's how we are just kickstarting the process across one of the clusters, which Joe talked about. And for this, I am one voice for Varun Beverages, but it's also a collective effort here of the team associated and directly engaged on the water replenishment front, water usage ratio reduction front. So I would like to call out Mr. Bagga, who's our group technical head, Rajesh Kumar, who's heading the India operations, Mr. S.N. Bhatt, who's a regional technical officer, Saurabh, he's the associate vice president for technical, Deepak Dabas, who's our investor relations head, Mohit Gupta, who's directly part of my team, Kadambri, she has recently joined us from another, very reputed foundation. So we as a collective team are trying to engage to make this 16 billion liters a much larger portion of the contribution to the replenishment efforts together with IIT-IIT team. Thank you. Over to you, Mayuri.
Thank you, Vikas. I'd like to now invite one of our NGO partners working in Paner, Sarika from RAAH Foundation, to share how we are adding it as a connected solution.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mayuri. Thank you, Joe, Jason, and Vikas. Very happy to be here and share our experiences. Using the IIT Tech platform, we were able to deliver the Rejuvenation of Water Bodies program in the Parner location of Ahilya Nagar last year. And what we are doing this year is two things. Very excited actually to talk about what we are doing. One is, of course, scaling up the Rejuvenation of Water Bodies program. Two is leveraging the community connect from the Rejuvenation of Water Bodies to deliver a proof of concept of the sugarcane project. The common connection between both is farmers who are involved in both the programs. And what the technology enabled process has allowed us to do really is to visualize communities where the synergy between both the programs will be very high. This connecting of solutions now allows our team to expand the engagement and transformation with connected communities while keeping our operations complexity low. And before I end, I also wanted to share that we as an organization are also leveraging the OMI platform that Joe spoke about earlier to visualize our own portfolio of solutions and engagement. I believe that this will also help us aim for the stars across our portfolio. I would now request Padma from Aranya, who's another Varun Beverages partner, to speak about how the silt in RWB supports the narrative of aiming for the stars. Over to you, Padma.
Uh, Thank you, Sarika. And Aranya is very invested in permaculture and nature-based solutions. With RWB, we have witnessed the transformative impact silt application on farms, and it's a connection to our broader vision of permaculture. Like in this context, we also see like fertilizer usage and water usage has gone down, and then farmers witness immediate yield improvement and earnings are going up. This value to the farmers in critical for shaping up of transformation, as the siltation is a naturally occurring process, and having the farmers committed and removing periodically is a critical to both the preserving of the water bodies and preserving of natural farming. So thank you very much for giving this opportunity to work with Joe and IIT for IIT and team.
Thank you, Padma ma'am. Thank you, Vikas and Sarika, for sharing your thoughts. For the next narrative, One to Many, I want to go back to the roots of the program that we started with in water, rejuvenation of water bodies. To lead us through this narrative, I'd like to invite Nimesh Sumati from Caring Friends and our solution leader for rejuvenation of water bodies to share his thoughts.
Thank you, Mayuri, and good day to all of you. And thank you, Joe, Jason and team. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes.
Nimesh, you are.
Yes. Caring Friends got involved in regeneration of water bodies way back in 2013, where I was exposed to the terrible impact of the drought in the Marathwada region and was looking for ways to address that. In our very first program, in those terrible times also, the farmers saw the value of carting the silt at their own cost, impacting their farm yield, reducing their water storage, increasing their water storage, reducing the use of fertilizers, and also percolation in their tube wells and dug wells. The other remarkable thing we witnessed was the farm land value increasing. The price of the land increased. So besides the crop yield, this was a big benefit. Based on the experience then, we started the program, expanded it, and Caring Friends remained committed to it. But in 2016, Amit Chandra of AT Chandra Foundation got involved and he really gave it a big boost. He took it to the state level, partnered with the Maharashtra government, and then it really scaled. Then again in 2019, I met Joe of IIT, and I'm fortunate I met him. And today you can see from 2019 till 24, he's taken it to a very intense level, and he's added use of technology to a far better way than what we were using. So where Rejuvenation of Energy standalone program is now part of a suite. It's a bouquet of solutions that IIT has put in for adopting. To share one such example, I will pass on now the mic to Lipi of Pani Foundation, who will speak about the. Thank you, Mayuri. Thank you, Lipi. Over to you.
So thanks again, Nimesh Bhai, and thank you, Joe and Mayuri. So Pani Foundation has been working on water in rural Maharashtra for over 8 years now. We started in 2016. And for the first 4 years, our initial engagement was solely focused on water conservation. However, since 2022, we've matured this and adopted a 360-degree approach and outlook to promote water management via improving farmer livelihoods. So our approach is manifested in through collectivization in agriculture. Essentially, we train farmers and motivate them, inspire them to form groups or collectives. And these groups work together and they train with us on adopting water efficient and climate resilient farming practices. So they innovate together and they learn from one another. So currently, we now have more than 50,000 farmers in 4,300 groups spread across 46 blocks of Maharashtra, covering all the major historically drought prone regions of Maharashtra. And these farmers are growing a variety of crops such as cotton, soya bean, various grains, and pulses. And every year to incentivize work in sustainable water and agriculture practices, we host a very unique competition called the Satyamev Jayate Farmer Cup, thereby creating a bottom-up people's movement in water and agriculture. So leveraging the IIT platform and the process, we decided to add rejuvenation of water bodies at scale this year as a key initiative within the Farmer Cup for all the participating farmer groups. So, this technology has so far helped in many important ways. Firstly, it has helped finalize communities which have strong farmer guts and high potential for RWB because we were able to identify highly silted water bodies around them. And not just that, it has allowed us to run an integrated process from identifying the water bodies to engaging communities, confirming demand, and so on. So, a very codified step by step process. Three, it has allowed different partners to engage in the process together where everyone can play to their strengths. For example, our strength is farmer mobilization, training, and engagement at the grassroots community level. So while we can focus on that, there are other teams that are directly, working on codifying the process. And this entire information is available with Nimesh Bhai and various NGO partners around these farmer groups who will support the engagement with the government GDGS scheme. Yeah, that's it. Over to you, Mayuri.
Thank you, Lipi, and thank you, Nimesh ji. For our next narrative, Standing in High Cotton. I'd like to invite Chandrakanji, CEO of Ambuja Foundation, to speak about the synergies they see between their national footprint in cotton and the collective action journey. Chandrakanji, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayuri. Good day, everyone. At Ambuja Foundation, our focus is on contributing toward building a prosperous rural society. We aim to revitalize and sustain a livelihood through our transformative community program. Our footprint is national across a comprehensive suite of water supply and demand related programs. One of our marquee areas of engagement is cotton, where across Maharashtra, Gujarat, Punjab, and Rajasthan, we are engaged in a variety of programs related to cotton through a large international initiative called Better Cotton. I see great synergy between our footprint in cotton and the Satluj, Ghaggar, Varda, Parnhita, Godavari Upper, and Manjara Basin identified for collective action. Across this area, we are working with more than 218,000 cotton farmers, and these farmers cultivate around 8.45 lakh acre of land through cotton crops. Just to give you a context, this program falls in 13 districts, 70 blocks, and close to 2,000 villages. And we have that presence across this outreach. The value I see from collective action is bringing in many more donors to this area based on their own operating priority, being in this area, as well as adding on connected solution to our cotton intervention. Giving cotton a large presence in the basin I mentioned, I know that collective action across a suite of solutions can drive transformational change. To share one example of how we are already working on this with IIT, I would like to ask Shailesh, my colleague, to share a few words. Over to you, Shailesh.
Thank you, Chandrakant sir. I would like to speak about the integrated cotton program we are working together with IIT. This program integrates three solutions. One is rejuvenation of water bodies, two cotton drip systems, and three recharge pits. So this integrated model is basically built upon our Better Cotton program in the Wardha and Pranita basins. It is in the Chandrapur and Nagpur districts that currently engages with 128 farmers across 179,260 hectare of cotton land in 1,000 villages. Now, the tech-enabled process has actually allowed us to strategize across each intervention independently. At the same time, visualize and synergize across them based on the communities that we are getting engaged. So this integrated model of engagement is replicable across all the areas that Chandrakant sir has already mentioned, and it can be provided to any corporation as a fully governable package of solutions, delivering transformational outcomes. One of the states that we are excited to bring this to is Rajasthan. And I will request our colleague Manoj sir to say a few words on the same. Manoj sir, over to you, please.
Thank you, Shailesh and Chandrakantji. I think given the water stress in Rajasthan, we know the addressing of the water congestion in cotton will be a big solution in terms of the Rajasthan scenario. Therefore, one of the area Ambuja Foundation has been involved in cotton in Rajasthan. And some other program that is very important in regeneration of water bodies. This year, one of our team, particularly in Western Rajasthan, worked with Hinduja Foundation, especially IndusInd Bank, for leveraging IIT solution to approach for the RWB implementation. With the tech-enabled cotton solutions include RWB as one of the solutions. And now that we have started with RWB solution approach, I can foresee such bringing integrated cotton solutions that include RWB at a scale into the Rajasthan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Chandrakant, Shailesh, and Manoj. Thank you for sharing that overall story. So, you know, as Chandrakant ji said, and the cotton is again one of the large water users. So we can clearly see the value that it will bring to these areas we've talked about. For our next segment, as I talked about intensification through a global portfolio, I'd like to bring and invite Adam Spunberg, who's the global head of operations for the 100+ Accelerator, to really talk about the opportunity he sees with the solutions in their portfolio and what it can bring to what we're trying to do in India. Over to you, Adam.
Thank you so much, Joe, for that. And really, it's such an honor and a privilege to be here. So thank you so much for inviting me. The 100 Plus Accelerator, which I lead operations for, we're focused on enabling more than 100 high-tech climate impact solutions across global operations of 5 corporates. So it's AB InBev, Coca-Cola, Colgate-Palmolive, Danone, and Unilever. In fact, we have 148 to date. And with the new cohort, which we'll be launching next month, will be as high as 185. IIT's OMI solution is one of our companies, and that technology was selected as part of our 5th cohort. Overall, we have more than 40 water and agro-focused solutions already in 100 Plus, which is a great fit for what Joe and IIT are doing. And we're developing that approach to leverage this OMI platform to bring the power of these solutions to collective action programs, including the country model being discussed today for India. So thank you so much. Amazing work in our program, and we're very happy to support and excited for the next steps. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you so much, Adam. And I'm very excited about the kind of solutions that I saw. I think they will be really, really impactful to the Intensify we're doing in India. So to move us on to the next theme, I would like to invite my colleague, Rijita, to introduce the next narrative. Rijita.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. As Joe presented, the South region is one of the most mature areas of our work, and our partners and us have had range of experiences developing the collective action model. For our next narrative is called Flavors of the South, for which I'd like to ask Kaushal from our NGO partner CPD to kick us off. Thank you.
Hi everyone, thanks Rijita. Center for Collective Development has developed a FPO market solution, scaling first in groundnuts and now expanding to pulses, millets and fruits. Our overall engagement is with 45,000, more than 45,000 farmers, where we are enabling them to assured sales to Reliance, Flipkart, like brands, to name a few. In our area of engagement in Pennar Basin, CCD FPO engagement, we have integrated with the RWB with the help of IIT. So it has been really very successful because our FPO engagement, where it assures the perfect market prices for farmers, the RWB solution has helped them in improving their outputs and yields while also developing the water resilience. So thank you, and I would like to ask Srinivasulu from Seeds to further speak on the flavors. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kaushal. The flavor I would like to share some thoughts on the extending from rejuvenation of water bodies to landmark water bodies. After working to scale up RWB initially, we used the tech to highlight potential water bodies where rejuvenation has started that had the potential to deliver landmark water outcomes. After shortlisting these, we used a structured workshop engagement across Gram Panchayat leaders, self-help group, women and farmers to confirm the community interest to engage in delivering the landmark water outcomes. The approach of confirming the opportunity prior to engaging in operations is a unique flavor that distinguishes the solution model. So thank you, everyone. I would like to invite Mr. Rao from Gram Vikas to share different flavor. Thank you.
Thank you, Srinivasulu garu. At Gram Vikas, we are very interested in both the intrinsic value of water bodies to our communities and the power of the Gram Panchayat system. In our approach to adapt water bodies, we have integrated it with several of our initiatives that are focused on improving the effectiveness of community engagement with the Gram Panchayats. Having worked on the rainwater bodies solution for several years, we have created several synergies between the rainwater bodies solution approach and the Gram Panchayat system improvements. Now I would like to invite Dr. Varsha from Credit I to add the next flavor.
Thank you, Mr. Rao. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Credit Eye works on holistic transformation for our communities. With this in mind, we started with RWB. We focused on the water body system that is very intrinsic to the Mysore area. We did this by first rejuvenating individual water bodies and then fixing the feeder channel to create a system of connected water bodies. We are now adding water treatment to the solution and also exploring landmark water bodies. The ability to extend from one to the other has been well supported by the tech-enabled process. Thank you for hearing me. I would now invite Mr. Veer Bhaskar from Mother to share the next flavor.
Thank you, Varsha. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. Over the past few years, we have been using a tech-enabled model to scale up RWB. Now we are focusing on building a strong connection between RWB, our groundnut farmers, and CCD's FPO market connect solutions. We are starting with a simple yet impact solution, that is dry platforms. These dry platforms help maintain the quality of groundnuts, which make it easier for farmers to sell through the FPO system and get better prices. These small steps create a big impact by improving crop quality and increasing the farmer's income. Thank you for your time. I would like to now request Satish from CA Grameen to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Bhaskar. And thank you, Joe, Jason, and especially Ruchita to take us through this journey. At CA Grameen's livelihood-based enrichment of our customer is a core value. The ability to achieve this through nature-based solutions like RWB is what attracted us to get involved. The impact on farmers' livelihood via better yield, low costs, parallel land reclaiming, plus the impact via the water body that has brought back bird life and biodiversity are the outcomes that align closely with our values. Our teams are very involved in the communities that RWB is delivered to ensure that these aspects can be further improved on as the program matures in our area of engagement. Thank you so much.
Yeah, unmute yourself, Ruchita.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you, Kaushal, Srinivaslu, Mr. Rao, Dr. Varsha, Veera Bhaskar, and Satish. Finally, to wrap up our narrative, I'd like to request Vikas Kataria, Director, Water Aid, to share his thoughts on many-to-one, developing from an integrated program a codified solution for sure drinking water supply with adequate water quality and quantity as per standard norms. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Lipi. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Jason, Catherine, fellow partners. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. So thanks. I think it's a good experience in terms of collective action and bringing together multiple solutions. Just to say that WaterAid particularly has been engaged in India for the last about 40 years in several transformative programs which are focused on water, sanitation, and hygiene. One of the critical areas of our interventions are basically water security, under which we provide access to drinking water with adequate quality and quantity as per the standard norms. Just to give you some idea about water security, many of you actually would know, is that within India, we've got about 17 to 18% of global population. And as a part of the global freshwater resources, we've got only 4% of freshwater resources. So the paradox is already 1:4. And as per Niti Aayog, which is one of the think tanks of Indian government, the report which they published about a few years ago, the rapid speed at which we are actually extracting groundwater, if we continue with this speed by 2030, almost 40% of the country would not have access to safe drinking water. And that would also translate into about 6% of loss in GDP itself. So, of course, government is taking a lot of initiatives, but as a collective action, we also need to take. So I'm thankful to WRC and IIT who are thinking around these lines, basically how we can create solutions around it. So based on our portfolio of programs, we are now working towards crafting a codified solution, quite like many of you have already done, to ensure access to safe and assured drinking water. With IIT, we have also kicked off the process by identifying few India-specific solutions and use cases to get started with. So that's where we are at present. We are still working around this, and I'll pass it on back to you, Joe. Thanks once again. I'm open to any questions if there are. Thank you, and good speaking with you all.
Appreciate that, Vikas, and everybody else who shared. I hope that for many of you who are on this call, that's given you a sense of the richness and diversity of the experience that the partners have been involved in. As I mentioned, we are just as IIT the connectors of dots. It's all being driven by these partners and their needs and your needs. So I hope that flavor came across.